All right. Hey everyone. We are back again. This continues to be that I really honestly don't know what to expect when I watch Miss Marvel, and it's a good thing.
Very much so.
Just really good. And they're continuing the off the walls editing and all that good stuff. That wasn't just a hey, we did a kooky thing. No, it's consistent. So I'm happy with that. So Mike, go ahead.
Well, one thing I want to mention. So remember how in the last episode there was the mid-credit scene with those two, I guess, government workers
Something
who are
like
watching the video.
that.
We have seen them before, or at least one of them.
Which one?
They work for the Department.
Oh, wasn't the male dude the one that interrogated them in No Way Home?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
they work for the Department of Damage Control, and
Got it.
since they're going to be in Miss Marvel, I imagine that implies a lot of things for the future. But before we get there, kind of the main plot of this episode is we get introduced to Kamran.
Handsome man. uh, that guy looks. There is a friend of mine and a friend of my roommates, Omar, who is an Arab Canadian. Nicest man I've ever met in my entire life. Looks identical to this dude, but with a small beard.
Nice.
It's just like, what?
So the actor who plays him is Risha, and Kamran is Wikipedia is failing me, so I don't know who this is supposed to be in the comics, but this is like the guy that Kamala has a crush on, who offers to give her driving lessons, and apparently he's just like the greatest person ever.
Yeah,
in this
he's
show.
just instantly Captain Cool. And I didn't know because they're very much, again, we've said it, they're giving the flow of a Disney movie or a Disney special. And 9 times out of 10, when you get introduced to Mr. Hip, cool, happening dude, he ends up being a douchebag. And that is seeming like he's not, because I was like, okay, hold on. This dude's into everything Kamala's into, knows it forward, backwards, like he was studying her. But it would make sense that they're into the same things. So whatever. But like part of me was like, man, if this guy is just some dude that is being put up to make Kamala think that he likes her by that girl whose name is escaping me now.
The Zoe.
Zoe. Yeah, I was gonna be like, that'd be really mean.
Oh,
but no,
I can't with that.
Well, no, I can't anymore now, considering how the episode ended and how the rest of the episode went. I can't anymore. But up until the point of where she lied about him being her cousin.
that whole scene was just it was like pretty cringe, but in the most appropriate way.
That was realistic cringe. I've been in that moment. Never lying about someone who I liked being my cousin to a relative of mine. Like, who's he? He was from Pakistan. What? Hold on. Yes, I'm going to fact check you because I'm not a moron. It's like, hold on. You're lying to your older brother who would know more about your relations than you possibly. That this guy's your cousin. Kamala. Come on here. And then how are you getting out of this when eventually, if you got caught macking on this dude, I'm really close with my family. But, oh man, before we get there, I like the confidence boost that Kamala got, that she was instantly basically replaying her high school intro, but with everything changed. I thought that was pretty slick.
I like that too.
And, man, I love all these Marvel shows, I do, but they have the weirdest inconsistency of they will have these giant banner moments where the CGI is just top notch, rock solid. Everyone was on board. But they always have one moment of something unbelievably minor that looks terrible.
And what was it this time?
They're training, and there's a random shot from a distance where they're climbing up a ladder up the side of a building, and it looked like the ladder was detached from the building. That shot was just bad.
It's such a small detail, and yet so. How did they let this happen?
Because it goes from up close with their powers and everything, and it looks great. Then it zip cuts to this day-lit shot, looks just like ass. Then it zip cuts back to them training at night, and it looks great. So it's this one just god-awful CGI shot right in the middle.
Maybe there just wasn't enough purple in the scene.
I don't know. What? Oh, it didn't look good. Oh, it didn't look good. But anyway, hold on. We got a comment here. I got to get back to do we have Manny? No, we don't. Dark Sage 9117. I'm going to give an unpopular opinion on the MCU if you want to. We can talk about it. We might not agree, but you are very much okay to give your opinions. We'll just keep talking. You can type away and we'll talk about it. Okay, so I had in my notes we were going to talk about if we thought the hot guy was a good dude or not, and technically we still don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't technically know what his deal is, but we know that he's got to be important, or he's related to someone important.
Yeah, and I still don't. We'll get there. Kamala is a horrible liar. Yeah. The only other big plot thread. Oh, there's two other big plot threads. I'm not a fan of Disney and Marvel chasing after casual fans with their approach to music shows. I grew up an avid comic book reader, and I hold true to the belief, unless absolutely needed, do not, under any circumstances, change the characters. Give the audience people like Miss Marvel exactly like she was in comics. Maybe I'm a bygone era. I get that, but outside of making her abilities a little bit different, she has her cosmic abilities and she has her stretching. It's just done in a slightly different color. So technically, she has the same powers.
Yeah, it's a different vessel, but it's still similar enough.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, because we'll get there with fans, people that barely know anything. If they would have made it look identical, all this show would have been spattered with, and this girl unfairly, is that she was a rip-off, knockoff Reed Richards, because people would have been dumb like that. And I get it. There are people that are fans that would have known, but there are a lot that would not have.
This is one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situations, because I'm also thinking of, especially for Miss Marvel, how not great the CGI could be with her embiggening powers.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, because if they made it look exactly like her, I get nightmares of the Flash, and I get they have a much bigger budget. But like I just mentioned earlier, they have these weird examples where they just go, we're not going to show that to the editors. But yeah, everything's got to be done in the way that it does, including with budget and, like we said, for CGI reasons. As long as they're still getting her basis stuff along, and like I said, with Embiggening, they're still doing it. It's just done through a different medium.
And what I like about that, what I like about the Bengals, is that we're starting to learn more about Kamala's family.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what's also good about this show is not everyone is all that familiar with Middle Eastern history.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't remember learning too much about the partition in India.
I don't remember learning about it at all. If I did, it was unbelievably brief.
Yeah, like maybe like a day or two.
Yeah. And another thing before we get away and we talk a little bit more about it, this is always the stance that I have with this stuff. And if people don't agree with me, they don't agree with me. This is basically just writing another run of Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Every single movie that is ever made, every single comic book show that is ever made is the literal exact same thing as them making another run or reboot in a comic. It just happens to be with a camera. Everything in the MCU, give or take, it was taking versions of stuff that was done before, but it is literally just them making another run of Captain America, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, whatever have you. You physically, literally cannot say it's any different because it's not. It's just not done on a comic book page. It's done on video. It's
Exactly.
the exact same thing. Whether you like it or not, completely subjective, but it is literally just that. Is it going to be the same thing as the other one? No. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of times I don't want it to be. Does it need to be randomly we make Kamala Khan shoot water out of her eyeballs? No, because that's not the character. But if her embiggening powers are now done also through the power of this Bengal, and she still has the exact same powers, and it makes the character the same, plus they work in her cosmic stuff to make a new version of the character that has both, it's not randomly making her a different new character, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's still pretty much the same character.
Yeah, and it's just some stuff you gotta do the way it is, because like I said, some stuff doesn't translate with modern CGI well. And what you said earlier, Mike, her embiggening might look freaking weird with Marvel TV budget.
Yep.
Like they barely showed Reed Richards in that Doctor Strange movie, and for a tiny bit, we don't know if it's going to look good outside of him being turned into silly putty by Wanda.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I'm still excited for a Fantastic Four, but I'm nervous about like them actually getting into the weeds of their powers.
Yeah, I am too. We'll see. And it's all about how they have to adapt it. Not everything can get done, and we'll have to see, which it is what it is. Some stuff looks good. It's just you have to have a good director and you have to have a good visionary. But the meat and potatoes, what we're going to be into here. Department of Damage Control. And Aisha. Department of Damage Control is very much against enhanced humans. We'll get to that. But why was that kid taking a selfie halfway out a window when you couldn't even see he was hanging out a window?
Seriously. That whole time I was screaming, "Get the hell inside."
That whole situation just made my brain go, dude, I understand if you're trying to get a cool selfie hanging out a window, but you can't even see her out a window. But we get to see her save him, which is cool, because they didn't make her look like she had her shit together. I very much appreciate that. They didn't automatically turn her into superhero right away. And they even had her screw up again after she saw stuff through the Bengal, which you're using it as a plot device very much to see this stuff. So we'll get things tied in. Was that then like the whole Department of Damage Control stuff happens? Was that Aisha in the back seat?
I think that's what they're implying.
Because, like, all we ever see her is with a shawl, and I've never got to see her without it, and I'm going to assume that's who that is. But he says that's my mom, so I'm like, you are related, just differently?
I have questions. I hope they get resolved next week because the implications.
And man, okay. So again, we're gonna find out very quickly next week if that's Aisha or Aisha. Sorry, I keep thinking Aisha. Power Rangers is burned into my brain, and I keep thinking Aisha. Aisha, which apparently kicked everyone's puppies during the partition because no one wants.
According to the Illuminantes.
Illuminantes, that all. They basically went West Side Story, and everyone had a click during the freaking mosque party. That was pretty great. And not to skip away from it, her Nakia running, that is very cool to me. That they're actually making that a plot device that she's trying to help things and make a better situation for everybody. That I thought was very cool. But yeah. We had a lot of good setups and a lot of questions to be answered that I don't know if they're going to be answered because this is quickly going from cool high school Disney show into very fast. No, you're going to get detained. And I didn't know how quick that jump was going to be.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly surprised. It's like they're just going right for it. I mean, I like that by episode 2 she gets a, albeit bungled, hero moment.
Yes,
but
which I like that it's bungled.
But I wasn't expecting the Department of Damage Control to be right there, ready to go.
Exactly. I didn't think they were going to catch on to her that fast. Like where they just had 17 patrols on city blocks. Look out for purple. Ah! That's either Nightlight or Haro. It's one of the two.
The power of purple.
The power of purple is bestowed upon you by Sobek herself. Oh man. But yeah, it's and what is the name of the girl who plays Miss Marvel?
That is Iman Vellani.
She's great.
Oh yeah.
She carries this show very well. I don't know if she's had a whole lot of experience otherwise, but she's doing great. And also the all of her surrounding cast is perfect for the little moments that they have. Just the freaking moment with the parents and the kid is like, if it was not for slippery when wet, me and your father might not have met. Okay, that was disgusting, and I don't ever need to think about that again.
Of course, they have to make a Bon Jovi reference.
Oh,
they're from New Jersey.
Exactly. Oh, it's just like, that is great. and it's like all of these kooky little family moments don't seem like we need to have dialogue, so we're going to come up with something. It feels like they're talking, which I appreciate.
This is probably the most realistic family unit that I've seen in any superhero show.
In my opinion, the most realistic one's Ant-Man. But this is the most, again, and outside of Ant-Man when he's shrinking, this is the most down-to-earth Marvel thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
Which
is ironic because her powers are very cosmic based, and I'm sure in the Marvels they'll address that even more.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. It'll be so weird because this will be the first one. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first one that went TV show first, then movie, not movie, then TV show.
This will be the first.
Yeah. So that'll be weird seeing her powers on TV budget, or I should say Disney Plus budget, and then going to movie budget.
Speaking of Captain Marvel, do you think we'll see either Brie Larson or I forget the actress who plays Photon?
And I always screw up which Rambeau it is. Is it Monica's the younger one?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I always screw up which Rambeau is which. I think we have a better chance of seeing Monica.
You think so?
I would almost bet my house that we're not seeing Brie Larson in this show. I bet we'd see Monica though. I would not doubt that she's either in the ending fight of this or she shows up after it to talk to her.
Okay, so the actress is Teyonah Parris.
Teyonah Parris. Yes. I could very much see her showing up because unless they're going to only set it up in the movie, something's got to get Kamala from point A to point B.
That's true.
So it'd be interesting to see how they do it. And like she started off
in WandaVision
as an adult. So we'll see. It'd be cool if like her aunt, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh boy. Did her mom pass away?
Yeah. That's why she was like pissed at Carol for being gone during the snap.
Yeah, that's what I had to bring it back up. It's been a hot minute since I've seen WandaVision. Yeah, but it'll be seeing Monica will be I would not doubt whatsoever, because again, we established Sword's a thing. And we haven't heard jack with the side of squat from them since WandaVision. And Nick Fury is just up hanging out with the Skrulls and has been for like 4 movies and 6 Disney series doing nothing. So
he's on the synthesized beach.
He's on the just enjoying his Mai Tais. But eventually something's got to make him go, we need to go talk about this girl, and we'll see. Something's got to do it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I don't know what they're exactly going to do with that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever happens next, because I'm sure it's going to be something interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna pick it up hot and heavy as soon as the next thing comes out. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. All right. My camera seemed to want to give up on me here. So let's get the heck on out of here. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser and the Banana Meter and our own YouTube channel. You can listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. And until next time, we will see you all later.